Hi students, welcome back to class. Now let's continue Act 5. So in this class, I'll be able to complete Act 5 and in the next lesson, I'll be able to give you analysis. So let's see what happens in Act 2. We are coming to the final part of the play. So Act 5, Scene 4. So the scene is a room in Lovett's house. So we have seen in the last scene how Dapper starts shouting and Dapper's gag is crumbled. Dapper's mouth is stuffed with gingerbread. Later, the gingerbread in his mouth melts and he starts crying, telling that he feels suffocated and his aunt, the fairy queen, is not fair with him. So that voice is heard by Face and his master Lovett. So from that point onwards, his master gets down and it is seen that Face starts talking to Subtle, who tries to quieten Dapper. So then only all the things are revealed by Face and Lovett comes to know all the things done by Face. Now let's see what happens. So Dapper's gag is crumbled and he starts shouting. So Subtle blames Dapper for shouting. He's supposed to keep quiet. He has actually made the fairy queen angry. So he starts telling in that way. Later we can see Face coming and Face just tells Subtle to allow Dapper to meet the fairy queen. So we always see Face coming and going, Face coming and going. Face is very busy with many activities. So Subtle and Dole do not know what's really happening. They think that Face is managing everything for their favor. So the scene goes on, the action goes on. Now we can see Doll on the stage. Doll is presented as a fairy queen. She comes to the stage wearing a long gown, in a velvety gown she comes. She has to present herself as a fairy queen. Dapper is asked to bow, bend, and he has to writhe like a worm and he has to ask the forgiveness of fairy queen. The poor Dapper, who thinks that this is fairy queen, he asks the forgiveness of the fairy queen. He even kisses the end of the garment of Doll. Fairy queen says that she's not angry with Dapper. In the beginning, she felt angry with Dapper, but the moment she sees his face, she does not feel anger at all for Dapper because there is a childlike innocence on his face and she's not angry. And she says that Dapper will become rich, Dapper will get a lot of money on gambling and he will go to parties, he will also spend a lot of money and he will be able to make money in that way. And other blessings are also showered on Dapper one by one. So here Dapper is told that he will get part of the fairy queen, fairy kingdom. So at least 12 acres of land he will get as part of the fairy kingdom and he will be very rich and he'll be blessed. And she of course tells that he is the favorite of the fairy queen. And one more thing is that he has to cut a vein in his body to feed a fly. So he will be given a fly which is the attendant spirit that will help him to get victory in all the gamblings he is going to carry out. So he is given that fly and he is told that at least once a week, that is the same day, the next week, he has to cut his vein and feed this fly. So he has to keep this fly always with him. So that shows that the fairy queen is always with him. And he is given other instructions that he should not eat some things like from different taverns like Woolsack. When you should not go to a tavern called Dagger, you should not eat things provided there. You should not eat breakfast in the taverns known as heaven and hell. Then he should not play some games like backgammon. So that means God make you. That is the meaning she tells. And he should not play other card games like a trade trip. So these are some of the instructions she gives. And he can play card games as Gleek and Primero. So this will be able to help him to get more money. So these are some of the things he tells. So anyway, Subtle tells this Dapper to give a gift also. Once he becomes rich, gift of 1,000 pounds before tomorrow night itself to give. It not become actually 1,000 pounds. He won't be getting immediately, but he is asked to pay 1,000 pounds. And the fly that is given to him will teach him how to play all the games well, and in that way he will be amassing a lot of wealth. So Face comes and asks whether the work is over. So the work is almost over. And then Doll tells one more thing, that is to hand over his inheritance to somebody else, because his inheritance is meager. So if he wants, let him hand it over to somebody else. Now Dapper, who is pleased with the Doll, is ready to hand over the inheritance to her. So he says that he will bring all the documents connected with his property, and he will give all these documents to her. So in that way also they are trying to squeeze Dapper and get more money. So Dapper is very happy, thinking that he has received a fly and he'll become very rich. So all the false promises are given to him, and with that he lives contented. And we can find Face again coming back. Face comes and tells Subtle to take the Spanish suit from Drugger. So Drugger has come, and he has come with this Spanish suit. He's come with the hope that he'll be able to wear the Spanish suit and he'll be able to marry the widow Dame Blind. So one more thing is that Drugger has to bring a priest to arrange his marriage. Drugger has to bring a priest to marry him off to the widow Dame Blind. So Drugger is given those instructions, and you have to remember that Face tells all these instructions to Subtle, and Subtle has to tell all these things to Drugger. So Face will be the master brain behind all these things. So he will be carrying out one of the other responsibilities by putting it on Subtle. So he just sees that Subtle does all these things, and he will be the man behind the screen, so that others will not know the direct involvement of him. And Face lives, and Subtle reveals a plan of Face to marry the widow. And you have to remember that Face cannot come and show himself, because Face has a new face. Face is again the Jeremy the butler. So he can only tell Subtle to tell all these persons to do this and that. So the moment they see this new face, they won't be able to recognize Face. They have seen Face either as captain or as the servant. So these two faces are not visible to the customers now. So that's why Face tells Subtle to tell what each customer has to do. Now Face leaves, and Subtle is angry with Face, because Subtle knows that Face has plans to marry the widow, and he has never thought that Lovett will be coming to the scene and Lovett will be marrying, but he always believes that Face is the one who's going to marry the widow Dame Blind. And he gets really angry with the Face, and he thinks that it is again a violation of the terms of agreement, and he reveals this to Doll. So Doll is also very angry with the Face, and they can't do anything now, and they are now trying to show their anger in different ways for violating the terms of agreement. And they think that once everything is packed up, they can go to the Radcliffe, and instead of going to the resort at Radcliffe, they will take another direction, so that they will be able to cheat Face. So they think that they will be able to deprive him of all the share he's supposed to get. So that is what they believe, because they think that there is a justice even in doing that, because Face has already violated the terms of agreement. And we can see Face coming again, and Face tells Subtle to send Drugger to wash his face. So Drugger is there with the suit, the Spanish suit, and Subtle has to tell Drugger to wash his face to get himself ready for the marriage. So Drugger is under the impression that Drugger is going to marry the widow Dame Blind. So Drugger goes, and he goes to wash his face, and he goes to get himself ready. So meanwhile, Doll thinks that Doll will be able to rob the widow of all the property she has, whatever ornaments, whatever she is wearing, all the things she'll be trying to rob. Because if she robs him, she'll be trying to deprive certain things from Face. So in that way, she'll be able to get some justice. So both Subtle and Dole um, prepare themselves to rob the widow of all the things she has now. So Faze now just tells whether everything is packed up. So everything is packed up. Faze asks the booty also how much they have got. So here very faithfully, Subtle gives an account of all the things he has procured. Both all of them have procured. So here he speaks about some money they have received from Mammon. Then again, some things they have got from Fisher wife, and again um, from other customers. So all the accounts will be given. So I mean, there are a number of things they have actually got from other persons. So all these things will be mentioned here. So here Face just asks whether everything is now packed up, whether everything is in the trunk. So everything is packed up and all things are now in the trunk. So they have some things they got from even Fisher wife, then again even from the ale dealer's wife, some rings and some small coins. So whatever they have received, even some petticoats, girdles, ornamental sword belts, all those things are seen. Some silver glasses, all those things are now packed up and they are in the trunk. So once everything is packed up and once all those things are in the trunks, Faze asks them to give the keys. So here there's a surprise from Dole, and why does he ask those keys? So Faze says that anyway these trunks are not meant to be open, and that's why the keys are handed over to, keys should be handed over to him. And Doll thinks that okay, it should not be opened unless and until Faze comes and meets them. But again, Faze says no, that is not the situation. Faze will not allow them to take the trunks away. Faze will not allow them to open the trunks also. That means whatever they have acquired through cheating will remain with Faze. Whatever money they have on them, whatever booty they have, all those things will remain in here only, because all those things are packed up in the trunk and the trunks will not be allowed to be lifted from their place at all. So in that way he is now cheating both Subtle and Face. So they are now very angry, they don't know how to show their anger. And here he says that he has told his master about the deception he has done about giving this house to the other two persons, Dole and Subtle, and how they have reached that agreement. So all those things are revealed to master, and he has agreed that he will be giving the widow in marriage to the master. The marriage between the widow and the master, who is a widower, will be arranged. So with that he is contented, and master has agreed to forgive him. So this is what master is doing, and master will not allow them to take anything away from the house. So he has to please the master and he has to please the widow also, and he will not allow both Subtle and Dole to take anything away from the house. If at all they have to escape, they have to run away from that place. That is the only thing he can do to them. Police commissioner, police officers will be coming very soon. If they don't want to be caught by the police, they have to go away from the place, and that is the only help they can give to only help Face can give to both Subtle and Dole. That is what he says. So he I mean, both of them are very very angry and they don't know how to show this anger, and Face starts teasing them. Face tells that Face can give letters of recommendation to the keepers of brothel houses for Dole, and Subtle can again continue this practice, and he will send one or two customers because of his acquaintance. So in that way he keeps on teasing both Subtle and Dole. So he says that Subtle is not able to know the fortune in spite of his knowledge in science, in spite of his knowledge of the planetary movements. He is not able to know what is happening to him. So Face is cleverer than Subtle in all aspects. Subtle and Dole are furious, and Subtle just gets angry, and Subtle says that he cannot pay him back in the present situation. He will do one thing, he will kill himself, he will hang himself, and then his ghost will come and start haunting him. That is the only way to show retaliation to Face. He cannot show retaliation or he cannot show revenge in other ways. That is what he says. So with that, Act 4, Scene 4 is over. And now we can go to Act 4, Scene 5. So Act 4, Scene 5, the scene is again an outer room in Lovett's house. So Lovett is seen in a Spanish dress. Lovett is ready to get married to the widow, and he is in a Spanish dress. And there is a priest also with him to solemnize the marriage. Meanwhile, we can hear knocking on the door. So here people come, it is all the former customers come one by one and they start knocking on the door. All of them are seen outside, so they are knocking on the door. And Mammon brings police officer, he brings two or three police officers, and he has to see that all these cheats are arrested. So they keep on knocking on the door, and in a hurried way, Lovett and the widow get married. So their marriage is over. So the priest has solemnized everything. The marriage gets over, and Faith asks whether everything is over. So it's clear that the marriage is over. Once the marriage is over, Lovett can remove his Spanish suit and he can show who he is to the widow, Dame Klein. So he can come in his own person. So he presents himself as Lovett, and he opens the door because there is the loud banging on the door, and they are now ready to open the door, break open the door, and enter the house also. So the door is opened, and we can see the officers outside, and we can see Mammon, Surly, Castile, and Ananias Tribulation. All of them are outside, and they just rush in. They rush in and they just start asking for Face, Subtle, and Dole. They start asking for who is the captain, where is he, where is the one person who addressed himself as the physician, where is the other person who has addressed herself as the sister of the Lord. So they start asking these questions one after the other, but nobody is seen here. So even though they search the house also, they don't see here. And you have to remember that face is there, and face is another with another face. That's why none of them are able to recognize face. Face is now as Jeremy the butler. So they are not able to see that it is face who has actually disguised. So Lovett speaks about his return to this house a short while ago, and he says that many people have come here, and why all these people have rushed into the house. And he speaks about his return recently, and he says one more thing, that his servant Faze has actually rented the house to a doctor and a captain, and they are cheats, and he has not known anything about them, so they are not seen now. So he even allows these persons to search the house. So they go and search the house, and they understand that Subtle and Dole cannot be seen, even Face also cannot be seen. So all of them have fled. So there is no way for them to get back whatever they have lost. And Castile is also there. Castile is again getting angry with his sister, and he thinks that his sister has copulated with somebody and the house, and he has never allowed his sister to marry anybody beneath the class of knight, but sister seems to have copulated with some ordinary person, and he's very angry with his sister, and he keeps on dragging his sister. So when he drags his sister away, that is, Castile drags his sister away, Lovett just speaks about his marriage to the widow. Lovett says that this widow has been waiting for a Spanish count for some time, and the Spanish count has not appeared, and widow is ditched at the time when she has been waiting for that. So Lovett rises to the occasion. Lovett wears the garb of Spanish count, and he has married her. So Surly feels a bit of disappointment. Surly is thinking that he has lost the widow, and now Lovett says that it is because of his hesitation in coming, and he has taken a lot of time in coming, and that's why the widow has married him. And it is clear that this Spanish count, that is Surly, has taken a lot of pain to come to this place as Spanish count for the sake of the widow's love. Even for the widow's love, he has done all these things, but still he has lost the widow. So that is what he says. And Mammon just comes and says that the whole gang has disappointed. So the whole gang has fled away. So Mammon at least thinks that he will be able to claim back all the products he has brought here. So at least some metallic products are there in the cellar, and he thinks that he will be able to get back all these goods. So he says that some goods are there in the cellar and he wants to get back all those things. He has lost a lot of money, but at least some things he has brought here, he will be able to get back. So Lovett is again, behaving like a person who knows the legal affairs very well, and Lovett says that he cannot allow him to take it away from the house, take anything away from the house, unless and until he produces a certificate from the court. So he has to produce a certificate from the court that he has been duped by those fellows, and they have asked him to bring all these things to the house, or otherwise he himself is fooled. And one way or other way, he is the owner of these products, so that he has to show. So there should be an order from the court to show that he is the right owner of all the metallic products brought to the house and which are now dumped in the cellar. So Mammon thinks that it is a hard task for him to get all those things, and it is better to let all these things go than to go to the court for all the proceedings. So Mammon and Solly, both of them are disappointed because they know that there is no use talking here, waiting for these persons, because everything is spoiled now. So Surly is again completely disappointed because Surly thinks that there is no value for honesty. So in page 20, we can see that it is again in 85 section. Must I needs cheat myself the same foolish vice of honesty? Come, let us go and hearken out the rocks. So here he thinks that honesty is again the foolish vice. That is what he says, because he has tried to behave in an honest way with the lady and with all the people. But here things have turned against him. It is as if the society does not give any value to honesty. So he thinks that to society it is a kind of vice. It is not seen as a virtue. So that is what disappoints him very much, and both of them leave the place because there is no use waiting for them. Now we can see Ananias and Tribulation. They come here, and we can see them speaking in a religious way. Speaking in a way of accusing them of the sins. So Ananias and Tribulation come, and Ananias and Tribulation they also claim the property. So Ananias claims the property, that is the metallic products which are there in the cellar. So Ananias says that he has bought all those things, and the Baptist sect has bought all those things by paying the money, and they have to get those things back. So Lovett says that those products have already been claimed by Mammon, so there is no way for them to get those things back. And Ananias says that how can he value the claim of a heathen? They should value the claim of this religious person, Ananias, and the people who belong to the Anabaptist sect. So Lovett gets angry, and Lovett threatens Ananias, and he says that he have to quit the place. He will not allow them to make disturbance here in any way, and they can fly to Holland. Okay, so that is better for them. And he says that. So Ananias is very angry with Lovett and all the people there, and he starts cursing them, and he says that may this house be full of he says that may this house be full of dogs and poisonous insects. Let them infest these areas and let them spoil them. So that is the only thing he can give. He can give only curse. So Ananias is now cursing them and leaving. So both Ananias and Tribulation leave the stage because they can't do anything other than that. There is a point in which Ananias even tries to confront him physically, but Lovett gets angry with Ananias. He does not allow him to confront him physically. So in a way, Ben Jonson is making fun of the religious order and how they respond to different situations, and how they try to show like any common man in the world, and they don't have any trace of piety. So that is what is shown through the character of Ananias and Tribulation. And we can see Drugger coming. When Drugger comes, Lovett asks whether Drugger also belongs to the Anabaptist sect. So Faith tells that Drugger does not belong to the Anabaptist sect, but Drugger has come with the hope that he'll be able to marry the widow Dame Plank. And Faith tells this priest to tell that the widow is already married to Lovett, and that will be informed. And Drugger has taken a lot of time, and because of his late coming, he has lost his wife. So that is what is mentioned here. And we can see Castiel going inside and coming back his sister, and he drags his sister away. And Lovett informs Castiel about his marriage to the widow. And Castiel is very angry with sister, thinking that she has actually violated all modesty. She has had affair with other persons here. So he gets really angry with the sister, but Castiel just tries to comfort him by telling that he is safe, and she is married to a person like him, that is Lovett only, and he is healthy and he is not infected with plague. So that is what he says. So Castiel is pacified with the thought that okay, this lady is, that is a sister, has got married to Lovett. So he's pacified, and he finally says that he loves this man, that is Lovett. Lovett is a person who loves Fate, and he loves this man, and he is ready to accept the marriage of his sister to Lovett. So Lovett is pleased with his servant because Lovett has got a new wife, a young wife, which will make him young and which will make him enjoy his life. And he just starts addressing the audience, and he says that maybe different from what people have thought about his response. This is a different kind of response that he has given to his servant. He has not punished his servant. Instead, he has allowed his servant to go along, get along in the same household, because the servant has given him a new wife and has given him youth back. So he allows the servant to live peacefully in the house, and he even likes the servant, and he thinks that it's not bad to forgive a servant who has given him a new young wife. So, and he tells that that maybe a different thing which people have seen, that may be contrary to their expectations, that the bad people will be punished and the good will be rewarded. So that is not what people here see. And he tells Face to speak about his role. Face addresses his audience, and Face tries to say that he is at the mercy of his countrymen, and he says his countrymen are understanding and they'll be able to understand him much better than others. Though he has cheated Subtle Doll and he has cheated all other persons, he hopes that the audience will be able to enjoy the drama very well. So with that, the drama ends. So here, what I have to tell you about this drama is that this drama does not actually speak about virtues. It does not speak about virtues. Instead, it speaks about vices thriving. So, a person who is wicked, a person who is cunning, who has more ingenuity, is able to thrive more than a person who has honesty, a person who has sincerity, commitment. That is what we find here. So, that's why, even at the end of the play, Lovett addresses the audience, and he says that though he has acted contrary to the expectations of the audience, that end may be acceptable to the audience, because he is after all getting a new wife, and he allows himself to be ruled by the clever and cunning butler Jeremy. So that is actually what happens in the play, and here we don't see any kind of moral message. Here we see actually a depiction of the vices in the society, how people have been thriving in the society, and how they themselves get cheated by their own foolishness. So those people who allow themselves to be fooled are more to be blamed than those people who fool them. So that kind of a thought is imparted here. So this play is again a very comic play, and it just makes you laugh till the very end. And how people who are cheated don't want that story to be narrated to others. So that also will be shown here, because people do not enjoy their foolishness to be spoken about and to be teased by others. So that is why those who are fool will keep quiet, and they don't just try to say that no, these things have happened. So in that way, they don't have to face any kind of danger from these people. So we can see face thriving all the more, and faces ingenuity, or the faces cunningness, that has actually brought the success of Lovett and sings. So that is what we see in this play, and the play is now over. And I will be coming back to you with the analysis. So all the important questions and how you have to write the answers. So I'll be coming back to you with all those things. So meanwhile, keep on listening to the recorded lectures, understand the story thoroughly, and you read the books. I have already given you the text with the paraphrase. You will be able to understand the book very well, and I hope you are reading those books. So students, bye.